This daf Yerushalmi Shabbos in the article Oz v'Hara edition where daf Nun Gimel Amar Aleph on the fifth line down. Amar Rabbi Chananya, and in the Vilna we're on daf Mem Gimel Amar Aleph. 9 lines at the bottom. Amar Chananya Lo Amar Kain. So the question Rabbi Yirmiyah asked yesterday, as recorded here, was that what about Chatzi Gorgeres b'Shabbazu, Chatzi Gorgeres b'Shabbos Acher, or they're mitzaref and not mitzaref. So the Gemara says that wasn't his question. It's obvious that Shabbos is on Mechalkos. You can't join together half malacha from one Shabbos, half malacha from another Shabbos. What happens if it didn't happen on one Shabbos? That's what the Gemara says here. Lo marchein elo chatzi gogeres b'zdod on Shabbos. She does malachos in the he harvested half a gogeres no Shabbos for malachos also. The chatzi gogeres ben arbaim, and then the afternoon he did half a gogeres. B'shigo Shabbos is on malachos with the reverse mistake that he forgot the Shabbos and no malachos also. Shigos bo v'shigos shabo, the two shgogos. Ma'oshit starfu. Do they join together or don't they join together? So Amar Rabbi Mana said, Avagablu Amar Rabbi Yossi da milsa. Even though Rabbi Yossi did not say something about this specific case, Amar the Kavasa. He said something similar, which could be from which we can refer to this case. Now, by Tumas Mikdash v'Kodoshav, there are also two requirements. You have to there's a requirement that you know beforehand that you're about to eat Kodesh, and a requirement that you know that that you're Tomei. So and then you forgot. Okay, so now. He'd have a zayis knowing that this is Kodesh, but forgetting that it's Tuma. And have a zayis forgetting that it's Kodesh and knowing that it's Tuma. What about but both Haleim was joined together. So he asked the question, but he gave the answer. So we infer that the questions are the same, but we don't have an answer for either one. It's interesting, Rabbi. The article brings out that Raimana was his Tam Rabbi Yossi, and he was accustomed to say about his Rebbe, even though he didn't hear something explicit on the issue which is being discussed, he heard something similar. So evidently it appears shown lots of places in the Yerushalmi, this kind of extrapolation, which doesn't necessarily end in a resolution. Okay, so Gemara goes on to another issue here. Nicha Shabbos, Shabbos, since weekdays in the middle, so we understand Shabbos is on Mechalkos. But Gabe Nida, by Nida Maislach, by Nida, if they were two separate women, I understand. But if it's the same woman over and over again, why do we chayav on each and every bia? There's no there's nothing to distinguish between between the bios. It's one goof. What's mechalik? What this divides it into separate obligations. Now the Yerushalmi Kipshuto says that it's possible to still give a chiluk. The chiluk is that there's separate chiyuvei chatos for the woman. Mechalik between each bia, but what about by a nida ktana? In other words, there aren't separate chiyuvei chatos for the woman herself. So therefore, how are we going to resolve the situation by nida ktana to say there are distinctions? So Shabbaleh may have tara beinosayim. She had days of hefsek tara between bios. So therefore, enachanami. It was the same, one bia after another bia after another bia, while she's in the same state of nida. Taka could be, since she has no chiluk chatos, it's like guv echad. There is no chiluk chatos from either. But when she's there, she's had days of hefsek tara between. Either she's a zavaktana, she's shomer yom keneged yom, or obviously more so if she is a G'dayla or a real Nida, that she was Tara in the middle. So therefore, they may have Sektara are what distinguish between each and every Bia, between them, two of them. And of course, that's like Mechulakim by Shabbos. So now the Gemara says, going back to this discourse between Rabbi Akiva and Rabbi Eliezer. So till now, we assume that the question that Rabbi Akiva is asking is Yerushalmi many chatos on many chilui Shabbos, which is Rabbi Eliezer. Rabbi Akiva is asking on that. So now, according to this version, Rabbi Eliezer Shirmer Kach Sholo. This question was about Nida. Baal Nida Achas Chamesh Bilos Belma Achas. Talk about what we were just discussing. You come from five bios on one Nida Elimachas Mayu. Chayv achas kums, chayv one on all of them. Achas kol achas achas. So it's chayv each every bia. Amalei so Rabbi Eliezer said to Rabbi Akiva, chayv kol achas achas. It's chayv each and every bia. The kasha. So on that, Rabbi Akiva asked him, "Ilu kotzer v'kotzer behelim echad klumu chayv al kulam elachas." Don't you agree that if you did katsira and then another katsira and then another katsira on Shabbos in one period of forgetfulness, then only chayv one on all of them together? So if it may need that, indeed, you should only be chayav one korban chatos, no matter how many bios you have with the same woman. The same thing. So that was the discussion according to Rabbi Eliezer B'Shimon. So Rabbi Acha B'Shem Rabbi China came Rabbi Mona Makshale. So Rabbi Acha asked, say name Rabbi China. This is what Rabbi Mona asked on this girsa of this of Rabbi Eliezer Rabbi Shimon. This entire halacha at the beginning of Parak, the Yerushalmi each every Shabbos is Rabbi Eliezer. But the Rabbanim who we know already for several blot is Rabbi Akiva is only Chayav Achas. So Avhacha lo yeh Chayav el Achas. So here you only be Chayav one. So the Korban explains what he's asking. Avhacha benidel Rabbana inu Chayav el Achas. Okay, Rabbi Akiva, it's Chayav one. Av Rabbi Eliezer, but the premise of Rabbi Eliezer was Shimon. According to that Rabbi Eliezer, that Akiva was saying to Rabbi Eliezer, well, wouldn't you concede by koitzer? That's only one korban. Rabbi Eliezer bemis apa koitzer chayav achas v'achas. Who says? You chayav koitzer in each and every one. The later Rabbi Eliezer achas meina. Rabbi Eliezer doesn't hold achas meina. He doesn't hold that Josh. We said already a while ago, a day or two ago. I forgot how long ago it was. But in any event, he just holds him nida gufin mechulakim. So maybe Taka will hold by koitzer also start mechulakim. Each malachas chaluk and the Taka and chayav. I each every one. How does Rabbi Akiva know Rabbi Eliezer would concede the point by koitzer? Yerushalmi Shabbos points out that those words "Avachal Chayav El Achas" are a quote from the other places where we bring down this the statement of Rav B'Shem Chanina, but really it's not necessarily over here. That the whole real questions from the statement till there that how does Rabbi Akiva know that Rabbi Eliezer is going to concede the point to him? So then Rabbi Eliezer came to Rabbi Yaakov Shem Rechina Leis Kain Rabbanim. He said, I'm sorry, Leis Kain. Next, Enechnami. Rabbi Eliezer B'Shimon version of the discussion between Rabbi Akiva and Rabbi Eliezer is taka we have to reject. It's this lashon, this Masorah is not accurate. So now there's a new statement. It says Ki Rabbanan de Kesarin. The Korban changed it. It's a new statement. Rabbanan de Kesarin. Right. So Leis came period. Rabbanan de Kesarin. B'Shem Rabbi Nisa said Kol Da'Yichas Rabbi Eliezer. This entire lacha in our the beginning of our parak, which says that each Shabbos is like Gufim Muchlakim, and even Be'alim Echad, you have each Shabbos. It's like Rabbi Eliezer. And now we have a kind of cryptic statement at the end of the Sigla. Kol Yipok Mina Halacha Kula Rabbi Eliezer. Any halacha which you derive from the beginning of the parak, it all would be like Rabbi Eliezer and would not be going like Rabbi Akiva. In other words, not just by Tinuk Shenishba, or anybody shenishba, whatever the case we've had in the past were. But there is a possibility of helim echot stretching over the course of several Shabbos and being chayav only one korban, despite the fact that you had Yom Mishmei Yisayim, they're not considered to be automatically being mechalik, and therefore you be over the same multiple Shabbos and the be chayav only one korban. Any time you see it differently, it's going like Rabbi Lezer and not like Rabbi Kiva, who argues on him. And Bnei Moshe throws in that if that's the case, even by Nida, it's possible that because that's could be also the Pokmina, the derivative of our halach, the beginning of Shabbos. By Nida, even though Rabbi Lezer also Dover Pasha that bios and mechalkos, you have each every bia, even by one woman. Could be Rabbi Kiva. It's not true. Could Rabbi Akiva that Nami leave the Rabbanan pleading Rabbi Lezer ain't a chayav elachas. Okay, that was the end. Probably the hardest sugya in the Yerushalmi. I didn't want to say that ahead of time, but at the beginning of Klal Gadol is probably, in my experience, the hardest sugya to. Or at least it's not. There are several very hard cryptic lines, but those sugya is a difficult sugya. Okay, now we're going to the next sugya of Klal Gadol, which also in the Bavli is a very big leap. Between one sugya and the next sugya. Halacha base. Avos melachos are boin chaser achas. The avos melacha are 40 minus 1, 39 melachos. Hazoreah, somebody who plants. Hachoresh, somebody who plows. Hakutzah, somebody who harvests. Hamamer, somebody who collects the grain. Hadosh, so the threshing. Hazorah, winnowing. Haborer, selecting. Hatochin, grinding. Hamrakeh, sifting. Valosh, kneading. Kneading, I think. Vofeh, and baking. Hagoz semer, shearing wool. Vamlabno, bleaching it. Vamanapso, somebody who separates it into strands. Vatsovo, dyeing it. Vatove, spinning the wool. Vamesech, and putting the stretching the wool on a loom. Vamoseshtei batenirim, so he makes two holes in the frame of in the strings in the frame of loom to put the wool threads through. Somebody weaves two threads. Potsea, when you take two threads which snap and you weave them together. Two threads. Kosher, tying. Matir, untying. Vatover, somebody who sews two stitches. Vakorea, Nasifra, somebody who rips in order to be able to sew two stitches. Hatzatzi, somebody who hunts a deer. Shokto, slaughters it. Mavshito, skins it. Amocho, salts the hides. Vamabidis oro, tans the hides. Machko, so he smooths the hides. V'machatcho, so he cuts them to size. Kosishteosio, somebody who writes two letters. Moche kamnaslichto erases in order to write two letters. Habona, somebody who builds. Soser, so somebody who destroys. Hamachabe, somebody who extinguishes. Hamaver, somebody who ignites. Hamaker patish, and somebody who beats with a hammer to complete a process. Hamotim l'shus, somebody takes up from one domain to another domain. Hare elu avos melachos arboin chaser achas. These are the 41 of melachos. Of melachos, avos melachos arboin chaser achas. The avos melachos we said are 40 minus 1. It says Gemara Minay Avos melachos min Torah. How do you know the avos melachos in the Midoraisa? B'shmo ben Nachman b'shem Yosef k'nei arboin chaser achas melachos shekasu b'Torah. It says the 42 times melacha in the Torah. So the Gemara says Bon Komer Rabbi Yachad. That's Rabbi Yachad. Kol ha'ein dechsib melachos. If it says when it says the term melachos, is it shtayim? Does it count as two? Rabbi Shain. Interesting name. Don't remember it. I don't remember. Ashuras Einei Rabbi Achel Raisa, the eye of Rabbi Achel was cast over the entire Torah. For lo ashri ksiv do milsa. It evidently never says the word melachos in the Torah. Okay, I think that brings us to the top of Nun Dalet Amud Aleph. Yes, it does. Okay, so we'll stop here for today.